Sarah Starkiller, and this is
Triflip 101 here.
And this is our out of theater experience. It's going to be a new podcast where we talk about movies that we just saw straight out of the theater. We just saw Wicked at 9:40, so it's now 1 a.m, and we're sitting out of the theater, and we're about to talk about the movie.
It is 1:10 in the morning, and we are ready to talk about it. So, obviously, Starkiller being the theater enthusiast that she is, she knew all of these background facts. She knew some cameos that came out in there that were pretty important to the...
I think they were super fun, and I had no idea about it, so it was really exciting to see them. It was really cool. Obviously, Wicked is inspired, or an adaptation of a Broadway musical that's really long-running, super popular.
Spoiler alert.
An adaptation of a novel. And what I did learn, I didn't realize, is that this is part 1. There's going to be a part 2, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I feel like if you've seen the Broadway musical, you know that there's kind of like a natural end point for like a part 1 to a part 2. But
right, super crazy that at the end of it, which is 2.5 hours in, she said that there would normally be an intermission and then a part 2 in the actual play. So
yeah,
I was like, wow. And these people have been dancing and singing for 2.5 hours in the real play, so that is crazy.
And they're like belting it out like that too.
For sure.
They're projecting so far. When I went to go see it, I was like in the back of Pantages, and it still hit me like all emotionally. And I will say, a lot of the musical scenes in this, I think, first of all, Ariana Grande did incredible. I was kind of like worried. I always knew that she had a great voice, but I was just like, I don't know how she's gonna carry like a whole movie, especially like I've only seen her act as Kat in Victorious, so I was like, how great is she gonna do in that? I think she did fantastic. I
would agree. She did pretty good. I mean, as far as a character that you're supposed to not like, she did a great job. I'm kind of biased in that already based on outside realities, but yeah. Or you're saying that like the role playing was done well?
What I was gonna say is like, when I went to see the musical, it was super powerful, but I also felt like there was going to be like a sort of like detachment from seeing live people singing it to you and seeing like actors and actresses playing it. You know, there will be that natural distance,
right.
But I feel like their big numbers, like the 2 big ones that they have, were still so impactful that I was like in tears.
Wow.
It hit me still, so.
Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people were in tears. I looked around a couple of times. But I mean, you know, the story and the sentiment is still behind all of the music, and then having the predisposed musical tracks with that to kind of lull you into the mood is obviously going to still hit you in a same but different way, so. Very good.
As someone who, I guess, like me, Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie, so Wicked is also my favorite.
I didn't know that. We just went.
Wicked is also my favorite Broadway musical.
Okay.
So when I found out that this adaptation was happening, I was super excited. It was pushed back for a long time, and so when it finally was coming out, I was excited. But as someone who doesn't have the background with the Wizard of Oz and that lore, how did you feel about this movie?
So I think if I can speak for some of the people who have not seen Wicked, either the play or the movie, and I've only seen the whatever year the first Wizard of Oz.
It's 39.
1939. Okay. Yeah. So as someone who has been very detached from all of that, I think the average person would probably think that there's going to be a lot of almost Maleficent type vibes, where it's going to be very aggressive and evil, whereas this movie almost made you, I don't know if you were never supposed to, but she didn't seem like a Wicked Witch of the West at all. She was very much, I saw a lot of compassion and care in her, and so to see a different side or completely of what I expected was pretty crazy. I liked that. It was like, oh, okay, I can actually enjoy this movie and not have to hate somebody the whole time any more than I hated Galinda.
I think Galinda's such a fun character. I've always enjoyed her. In the Broadway play, it's Kristen Chenoweth, and she does a fantastic job. Like, Kristen Chenoweth and Ariana Grande play this, like, ditzy, like, blonde girl so well that, yeah. I guess I should have known because Kat in Victorious is also very ditzy, so it makes sense. But, yeah, that was great. That's cool. I mean, I feel like when the musical came out, too, that's kind of, like, what happened is like people were like, oh, there's this whole other side to her that we had no idea about, because in the Wizard of Oz she's just straight evil for being evil. Like she's evil for evil's sake, really. And
well, yeah, in the Wizard of Oz,
yeah,
right.
So
but also you don't really see a window about it because it's not about her, it's about
it's about Dorothy,
right.
So and the book for this actually came out like in the 90s, and it's actually a series too, so there's even more lore. I've never read the books. I tried to read the first one, but it just did not hit for me. But I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I would like to see this movie again. I feel like if you're a fan of the musical, obviously you'll enjoy it. They stuck really close to the musical, and the musical numbers are like so spot on with it too. Like, it was such a great experience for me as someone who is like a little musical nerd.
And then, as you were saying that it was pushed back so long, how long were they shooting for it, do you know?
Well, they had announced that it was going to be adapted like years ago, like before COVID. And then filming, I think, probably started like around COVID time. I'm not really sure. But there was delays with it for so long, to the point where we're like, me, my brother, and his girlfriend were such, big Wicked fans. I went with them to go watch it. We were like, this movie's never coming out. Like, they're just saying it, but it was pushed back for so long. It really felt like it was never going to come out. So I think that's why, like, when it was finally coming out, I was like, this is so exciting. And also, like, when they released casting news for this too, I was like, Kristen Chenoweth did so good and Idina Menzel did so good. Who are they gonna get for this? I believe Elphaba's, I don't remember her first name, Christina Uribe, I think.
They started in December of 2022.
Oh yeah?
Probably.
But
and they filmed both parts, so it's
they
already
did?
done. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so we might not have to wait too long for part 2.
Also, another thing that I really, really liked about this, that I don't know if other people will really care about it, is like the vintage like logos, like the vintage Universal logo in the beginning.
That's so beautiful. Yeah.
I know. And then at the end, when we were walking out, they have like the Wicked
Wicked
title card that is the Wizard of Oz font in that same exact style. It was so like, I felt like my little nerd heart was gonna explode. Like, I'm telling you, like, the Wizard of Oz is so important to me that like I was just so stoked. I don't know.
It's beautiful. I really like that the old school, like especially the Universal sign, is just so whimsical.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It just brings like, even though I'm not of the 30s, it brings like nostalgia to me.
Oh,
that
for sure.
Like, it's just so. It just hits.
But back to my point was that pushing back, because they did pause filming in 2023, like mid 2023 they paused filming. But I was thinking that like each one of those musical numbers is like a whole play in itself. So to get those actors and those dancers and everyone to be just right, on top of the main actors to fall into their character and their I don't know, their number is what they would call it back in the day. Like, for that all to, it makes sense. Like, while watching it, I was like, wow, like, this had to take a long time.
It's so, like, seamless.
And even during the part where, just let you know that were they the people from the Broadway play?
Yeah, the original. So the big cameo is that Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth do come out, and they actually have a musical number in it.
Right. And so what I noticed during that was, which one is the one that played the Wicked Witch?
The brunette, and then the blonde is
What's her name?
Idina Menzel.
Okay, so when Idina, okay. When she was a part on the stage, when she is, there's a filler part while the other, whatever her name is, what's the other one?
The one right now?
The blonde one.
Galinda?
No, the old blonde
Kristen Chenoweth, my bad.
So her, while she was doing her singing part of the duo's little piece, she's supposed to fill time on the other side while she's doing her thing. And when that one girl was in the wheelchair, she like was waiting for her for the longest time to look and acknowledge her, but because she was just arguably an extra, she was kind of like stuck in the, oh, I need to pay attention to this guy.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where she was like, hello, I'm here, and then she finally looks and she grabs her chin like this.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
I was like, yeah, they're not probably going to reshoot that entire scene just for that.
Yeah, because imagine trying to choreograph that scene is like a huge dance number.
Right.
Like there's so many extras. Choreographing or like trying to refilm that is just would be such an ordeal. We got an Emerald City IC.
Yeah, the Emerald City IC is basically like what?
I think we said it was a caramel apple, like
caramel
lollipop.
Candy apple lollipop, yeah. It's
good.
very off-putting the first sip.
Because we had no idea what the actual flavor was. In that scene, I liked all the costuming, like throughout. Wardrobe was really, really great. But in that specific scene, because they're in Emerald City, it was so cool because it felt like it was really vintage. But also, like, here's the thing about that movie is that it's modern, it's all modern technology, and there's a lot of CGI, but there's also a lot of practical parts of it, and the wardrobe makes it feel so vintage. Like, when Elphaba and Galinda go meet Oz, and they show that, like, city, something about that just, like, transports me to the 30s. Maybe it's because it gives me that nostalgic feeling of Dorothy meeting Oz for the first time, that I was like, this... It feels vintage. This feels old. This feels classic to me.
Yeah, especially wardrobe. Wardrobe does a great job of that. It was
just so incredible. I was just so impressed by all of it.
Wardrobe, as well as how I would say, again, back to the actors that they chose. Like, what's the lady's name who plays Wicked? Like the Wicked Witch?
Elphaba.
Yeah.
I believe is Christina Uribe. I don't remember her first name, but
that person,
I've never seen her in anything.
Fits as an African American person. She fits the almost like endearing kind of old school grandma type warmth that I like. When I look at her emotions in her face and the way she's acting, I'm taken back to like my own family in a way, because I might not look like it, but I am African American heavily, at least on my mom's side. So all of the family there is very classic looking, you know what I mean? We have like backgrounds of like a little bit of American Indian, like Cherokee or whatever, and you can just see like that it's a very good casting pick for her, because it's just that type of kind of warm, emotional, forward type of acting.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. I know when she was cast, she actually got a lot of backlash because a lot of people were being dumb, like they always are.
Right. I think it was a great choice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think she did incredible the whole freaking time. Like, it makes me want to seek out her filmography more because, again, as a big fan of Wicked, I was like, how are these two girls going to do with that source
crazy.
material, you know?
Right.
And they're so good. Like, legit, when I saw Idina Menzel sing it, I was brought to tears when she sang Defy Gravity. When I saw, or I wish I could remember her name,
Cynthia Erivo.
When I heard her sing it, I was brought to tears. Like, truly, they bring the emotion, they bring the talent. Like,
for sure.
They did really, really incredible.
For sure.
And not just in the singing, like in the acting too. Like,
Right.
it's so impressive that
it looked
they
like
can
they
do that.
believed that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that they were, you know, every ounce of their being was in character. So
Yeah.
it was great. I think a lot of people would ask because people are going to see first and foremost probably TikTok reviews or like, this is me before Wicked, this is me after Wicked.
Yeah.
And they're just going to see people sobbing or whatever, and they're not going to really know. So let's give a little overview or like
Like a synopsis?
a brief, yeah. Like,
I mean, like how in depth of a synopsis are we talking? Like,
someone
couple
walks up
sentences?
to you on the street and they go,
What is
hey,
Wicked about?
Wicked, should I see it? And why?
Dang, and why is the tough part? Because I would suggest that everybody sees this, honestly, because I feel like it has so much to say. Not only
Absolutely.
is it very like entertaining,
It is also political.
charming. Yeah,
It's political. It's about
Exactly.
human rights. It's about being a good person. It's about accepting everyone.
and also animal rights too. It's
Absolutely.
like there's so many different elements to it that if you just see the poster, if you see the trailer, you see any of the marketing, the cute like sweats that I'm wearing, all this stuff, you're not gonna get at all that there's this depth to the story.
For sure.
So I would suggest everybody watch it because it's entertaining, it's charming, it's funny, it's cute, it's colorful. It could even like I feel like no matter what age you are, you will be transfixed in the film because there's just so much to be said and so much to take in. And even with a 2 hour and 40-minute runtime, to me, it didn't feel like that.
Right. It went by quick.
Yeah, like
It
there
really did.
wasn't lulls in it,
It was
really
good.
for me. It's a good
It's a good watch.
movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the last musical I saw was Wonka, and it matched that type of fun watch. I'm not a musical type person, but these have been fine. They're good. They're good watches. I'm literally just a guys movie. I'll watch like an action and a comedy mostly. That's what I'm usually into. But this is a great way to spend the night and watch a movie. Question. Out of 5, 1 out of 5, how many ticket stubs would you give this?
Ticket stubs. I honestly think I would give this a 5 out of 5.
5 ticket stubs. That means bring 5 friends and go see this movie. Thank you for having
Thank
me
you.
today. And we'll see you guys next time on
At a theater experience. Bye.
Bye.